After 2 months of our classes for FIU London, it was finally time for our spring break. I wanted to visit a few friends of mine who were studying in Oxford, so I was really excited to explore more of the UK for my spring break. My friend showed me around the breathtaking campus of Oxford with all its amazing architecture and colleges where the students were spending time in. And she first showed me around Blackwell's Bookshop, which is a historical site that houses the Norrington Room, which is home to one of the largest book displays in the world with over 150,000 volumes. We also explored the Divinity School, which you might recognize from Harry Potter, and also the Radcliffe Camera, which is dedicated to Dr. John Radcliffe, not Daniel Radcliffe. Then it was time for a delicious lunch at Gloucester Green Market, and I was really happy to see a lot of cuisine surrounding the market, from Thai food to Japanese food and even some sweets. And eventually, I decided on a tempura and rice dish for only £5. The next day, my friend took me for shopping at the Westgate Mall, where I actually only bought 3 books for sale because, priorities. And then I looked for the perfect reading spot, which I found at the Mound, this small hill that was located right in the heart of Oxford Castle and Prison. And pretty much everyone was taking in the majestic view. The day after, we just had to go to Christchurch, which is again another popular filming location from Harry Potter, which you might see right now looks like the absolute inspiration for the dining hall. And I had a delicious breakfast, which I wasn't able to film the food, but I really enjoyed it, as you can tell from the empty plates. Oxford was the most relaxing weekend of my month, but definitely more adventures await. So, the moment I got back to London, I wondered, what else can I do for the next 6 days of my spring break? I decided to watch a theater version of Mean Girls. The next day, I went to the London Oratory for the Ash Wednesday Mass. After that, I went to the street right next to it and decided to explore the Victoria and Albert Museum. These were the kinds of places that I really wanted to explore during my weekends, but never really got the chance to. So it was such a calming experience to be able to explore this kind of history right next to my area. And of course, museum explorations make me really hungry. So I tried out this tiramisu Danish from a cafe named Philo. And obviously, I really enjoyed my snack based on the amount of crumbs that are falling to the table. After days of jumping back and forth from museums and plays, I wanted to do something more relaxing and just walk around Kensington Gardens. And there were a lot of flowers that were already blooming along the park, and it was just so nice to see a new patch of color after 2 months of winter and just seeing how everybody is enjoying the view. I could tell that I was really into my morning walk because I decided to further explore a memorial for Princess Diana, which was located right next to Kensington Palace. And it was really heartwarming to see how much people were still upholding her memory and appreciating the scenery that surrounds the home that was once hers. After exploring Princess Diana's memorial, I decided to book a ticket to Kensington Palace because I really wanted to explore centuries of history about the British monarchs and just witnessing what life was back then. And one of my favorite exhibits was the one about Queen Victoria. She was an only child who was raised in the pristine walls of the palace and basically raised to be a queen one day. And I realized that these monarchs are human all along and were just trained to be members of the royal palace at such a young age. And I love just seeing a first hand glance at that. In the afternoon, I headed to the Westfield Mall to meet up with my cousin who worked in the area. And we had a really delicious lunch from a Japanese supermarket slash eatery. And we ended the night with some good old karaoke. And yes, I am Filipino, so my love for singing cannot be quenched in one night. I ended the week with a visit to the British Film Institute, and I loved how there were so many books right outside of the building, which were sold at much cheaper prices. I didn't really buy anything, but I just loved seeing pieces that I was always fascinated by in my childhood and special editions of Harry Potter. And I honestly just wish that I could stay there forever. So, what are the main things that I really learned over spring break? First, don't get caught up in the fear of missing out. It's really easy to be envious of your friends who might be traveling across Europe, let's say York, Dublin, Greece, Bath, Paris, and etc. And that's really amazing. But sometimes, of course, when you're restrained to just staying in one place, it can feel easy to be envious of the people who are exploring further depths than you. But London is such a massive city, you can't even explore all of it in 4 months. So it's really important to stay grounded and remember that joy can be found in the littlest of things if you just open your eyes wide enough to find it. And second, enjoy your own company. For basically a week, I was just with myself, being curious about museums, parks, and different places that I can find because it made me more comfortable understanding myself and being able to share that kind of joy with other people when I'm ready to interact with them again. And lastly, you do not have to spend a tremendous amount of money just to enjoy your spring break. You can go on a walk in the garden and observe what people are doing during their free time. You can walk inside a museum and encounter centuries of stories that you probably would have never seen if you weren't in London. And you can enjoy a really good meal in a simple cafe or restaurant and realize that you can actually do it yourself at home. So don't restrain yourself when it comes to enjoying a new city because if you know what truly matters to you, then you can make the most out of your spring break.